Alright you guys, we're jumping right into it today. I got some more stuff I want to knock out on the STI to get it to completion status. Well, not completion because it'll never be complete, but to get to that first start that we want. So today, we're going to knock out some more wiring on the STI, get closer to wrapping up that main harness. We're also going to get some of the exhaust back on the car. The main collectors that go from the bottom of the engine up to the up pipe. I have decided I may wrap the up pipe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. The collectors that go from the heads up to the up pipe, I'm not going to wrap at all. A lot of, yeah, there's moisture that can build up in there. We don't want to overheat them. There's not really anything down there that's super critical of heat aside from the oil pan, but we are going to be running an oil cooler on this car later on. I'm not going to be running the oil cooler on the first start. There's not a need to, and I'm not going to stress putting off the first start in the need of an oil cooler. So those will not be wrapped. The up pipe, we'll see. We'll find out in today's video. The downpipe is 100% getting wrapped, so we'll wrap that today. The coating is cured, so that way I can go ahead and start knocking some of this stuff out. On top of that, the wiring for the fans is going to get done. The wiring for the injectors is going to get done, with a lot of other stuff happening to try to get this thing done. So let's just do it. So let's get our turd up in the air. Dude, I love using these things. I'll link these down below because people keep asking me about these quick jacks, so it might help if I turn on the circuit breaker. So let's go. Up you go, baby girl. Legit makes working on this thing so nice, being able to just do this, just hold a button to jack it up. We are set up for locked in there, and over here we are set up to be locked in. Are we? Yeah, we are. And locked in. Let's get this bumper off. Easy peasy. So we're gonna be getting both of these collectors on and this crossover tube. I've got brand new gaskets here and some fresh bolts right there. Let's go ahead and start getting some exhaust goodness permanently bolted up on the car. So we've got both of the collectors on the heads. Those two I am not wrapping. I am gonna wrap this crossover pipe right here. It goes so close to the radiator, I don't want to risk melting the radiator fans. I've had that happen on cars in the past. Even with the Cerakote on there, I just want to make sure that nothing's going to melt. It's gonna get hot down here, you guys. So let's go ahead and get this piece wrapped right here. I don't think it should use much wrap. After that, we do need to get our wastegates reset up because I need to drop the spring pressure in there right now. I think I have it set to about 21.5 psi. We're gonna get those dropped down to about 14.7, get both of those put on here, get this up pipe. I am gonna wrap the up pipe too, I've decided it. I'm gonna wrap the up pipe. If we need to take the wrap off in the future, we can take the wrap off in the future. I'm not too stressed about it. The Cerakote will protect the metal from any potential moisture or water that gets in between the wrap and the actual up pipe. Same with the down pipe. Like, the down pipe's titanium. It's not gonna rust. This can rust, but the coating's gonna keep it from rusting. I also don't plan on driving this car in the rain too often, so let's just get to wrapping. If it overheats the coating, so be it. It overheats the coating, we'll take it off and recoat it. It's all V-band, it's easy to take off. All right, fine, you guys talked me out of it for that one piece right there, but I'm wrapping the up pipe. No ifs, ands, or buts, because it's so close. It's actually not really close to anything else. Fuck it! We won't wrap the up pipe. We're only gonna wrap the down pipe. You guys talked me out of it. I'm only gonna wrap the down pipe. That one is no exceptions though, just because there's so much crap up in here. So I've got the wastegates pulled out right now. I need to swap the springs in these, which I need to grab the springs from back here. Springs, wastegate spring. Get out of there, wires. Fine, I guess you're coming with. Springs, I need clamps. Give me the clamp. Clamp. So the easiest way to do this is take this clamp. I have to take this fitting back off. Clamp down the top of the wastegate hat to the bottom right there. I gotta take the V-band clamp off right there. That'll keep everything compressed. You can take the screws out and then slowly, dear Lord, slowly release this, because this has 20 PSI springs in it right now, and that thing's gonna wanna shoot. So let's swap both these springs down to 14.7. So everything is fitting up nicely in here. I got the turbo put back in for now. It's gonna have to come back out here soon because I got to put the turbo studs in and whatnot. I was having a difficult time figuring out what size the turbo studs were. They're 3/8 by 16, really weird size, but those are on the way. They should be here sometime this week. Downpipe is wrapped. I got it test fit in with the wrap. We honestly have somewhat okay clearance between the downpipe and the fuel rail. With that heat wrap on there and that Cerakote, I think it'll do just fine as long as everything else around it is heat sleeved. I don't know quite about this yet. That might get a little bit too hot, so we will figure that out. I gotta move this wiring harness down and out of the way. I gotta move some stuff out of the way of this. It looks like we're gonna have good clearance between the power steering reservoir going down to the frame rail down there, and then having that line wrap around and go up to our power steering pump right there. Down here, got both of the external wastegates mocked up. This is how they're going to sit. They're actually fully tightened down at this point. They don't need to come back off, so that is solid right there. Underneath of the car, everything fits up nicely for the most part. There's one spot right here, these two clamps, so you can see they're just slightly off. So when Kyle comes back up, I'm gonna have to have him modify that, so I'll have to recoat that part of the up pipe. It's no big deal. We can do that in a day and then let it sit for a couple of days and then get it re-sprayed. So, oh, and our oil line down here has solid clearance with everything, so that's Gucci. And that'll go up more, so that way it'll be more at an upward angle than it will be at this. It's just not fully tightened down to the turbo right now. So now that I've got all of that done, oh, update. I know where I'm gonna put the coil packs now. We're just gonna mount them underneath the manifold. We'll just do the remote mount option. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of the injector wires loomed up, pinned, and plugged in to the injectors, just so we have one less thing to do. So let me get this thing down a little bit on the next notch on the quick jacks, and then let's get some wiring done. Alright you guys, so we're 2 days in the future. The last clip that you just saw, we were doing some wiring on the STI, getting all the injectors wired up. I got 2.5 of them done because one of them came depinned and I have to redo that one. So right after we got all that done, I dropped everything I was doing. We got the call, the BRZ was here. I went and got the BRZ. You guys saw the BRZ video. The BRZ is doing awesome. We have some mods planned for the BRZ happening here soon. So don't stress, I'm excited for it. So, since it's been about 2 days, we got some more stuff in for the STI, some more small trinket stuff that we needed. So FedEx dropped this thing off. I don't quite know what it does. It looks like it just fills up buckets and does things.
It has bad eyesight.
And has bad eyesight. Dropped it off of glasses. So up here in the engine bay, I have cylinders 1, 3, and 5 pinned up and ready to go for injectors. This one came depinned, as you can see right there, so I need to redo cylinder 1 on that one, but cylinder 3 and 5 are all done. Now, one thing that did get dropped off that I'm going to do right now is the valve cover breather setup. So this is what I'm going to use. These are 1/2 inch NPT to -8 like 90s, and then this is a -8, which is essentially a 1/2 inch push on barb, and then I've got these nice little like nut guys that screw on there. So I'm gonna be using the metal plates that we made before. I'm actually gonna cut off these -10 AN fittings that we have on here, drill these out to 1/2 inch, so that way we can get these guys slid on there. I'll put some Teflon tape on that. We'll put some Loctite on these, and then we have some nice valve cover breathers, which will do wonders for us. So let me knock this out real quick, so that way we can get at least the AOS 100% done. So if we got one less thing to check off the list, you guys, we have valve cover breathers figured out right here. Look at how good that looks too. It doesn't protrude up, it doesn't hit the fuel rail. That was one issue that we were running into before because we had a dash 10 on there and it was just too big. Like we could not fit any fittings on there to try to get around that fuel rail. So essentially what I did here is I took these metal brackets or these metal plates that we had already made, threaded these for, well, I drilled out the old dash 10 fittings right there. I threaded these for 1/2 inch NPT, and then I got these 1/2 inch NPT to dash 890s. And then on top of that, we have this nice dash 8 AN to 1/2 inch push lock for the hose that's going to go to the AOS. Now, I was going to run these nuts on the bottom side of it to secure them in, but the nuts are a little bit too big, and this is on there so freaking tight that it's not going to go anywhere. Plus, the whole reason I wanted to use MPT is because MPT is it's like self-sealing as you go in because it tapers, so Gucci. Let's get this one on the driver's side. So I just went on a spree here and started doing a lot of things. So we've got both of the breathers hooked up. We have this one going. This one's going to get wrapped in a heat sleeve. I'm about to run to the auto parts store to go grab some, just since it's on the top of my mind, just like those ones over there. Over here, this came out literally perfect. Like, I'm so happy with that breather right there. It just wraps up and around. With this one over here, I tried to wrap it under the fuel rail between here and the intake mat. It wasn't working. Also got the oil pressure sensor swapped out for the smaller ones. That way it's not hitting the throttle body anymore. And then also got the high pressure line figured out on the power steering pump. So this is going to go from the power steering pump. I need to order IAG's smaller line because I ordered the stock line not knowing how long I needed, which I should have measured, which my bad. But that's going to go from the power steering pump, wrap under the manifold down through here, and then go down to our power steering rack right down there. So we got the stock line out. In order to get the stock line out, there's a 14 millimeter on the other side of this, and then this guy right here is a 17 millimeter. So that guy's a 17 millimeter. You just break them free. It's just like a brake line. So now that we've got all of the, just some more smaller stuff sorted out, I also put a P-clip right there to hold down the breather, so that way it's not going to touch the downpipe or anything like that. So now that I got all that done, let's go hop in the BRZ, swing over to the auto parts store, and go grab what we need. All right, for once, for some reason, AutoZone didn't have the heat sleeve, which is weird because it's like the first time I've ever seen them not have it. So I just hopped on Amazon, ordered 2 of them, and then I went ahead, grabbed some more steel wire, some random knick-knack bolts here and there that I was going to end up using. So now I want to jump to the fuel line, get the fuel line knocked out as much as we can tonight. I actually have no idea how long this video is. I feel it's a little bit longer than one because it's like 2 full days of work, but let's get the fuel line made up for this thing. Alright, you guys, so it's about 1:30 in the morning right now, and I'm just now getting caught up to the point where I can start filming again, so I'm gonna end the video here, but let me show you the progress I made on the STI real quick. Sorry, it's like I don't want to wake anyone up in the house right now. So I was only able to get one of the fuel lines done off the passenger side going around, so this Y fitting will actually end up going right up there, and then we're gonna put a P-clip there to hold this in place. Then all we have to do is this other fitting that's gonna go to there, and then from there down to the fuel filter. So in the next video, we'll get the rest of the fuel system done. We can put like a couple gallons of gas in the car, probably 5 or 6 gallons, pressurize the fuel system to make sure we get good fuel pressure, and then we can send it from there. You guys, like, there's only like some little stuff left. Kyle said he's going to be coming up Sunday now because he got a little bit caught up down at the shop, which is totally fine. Like I said, I have to go to the mod garage tomorrow to go build an engine anyways, which is today for you guys seeing this, so it kind of works out. So that is all I got for you guys on this one. I got the other power steering line ordered for that just so we can get the power steering system done with. I also ordered a cat back for the BRZ. There's not a lot of options out on the market right now, but it's just so damn quiet. I need it to be louder, so we'll probably end up swapping cat backs again in the future, but it'll at least make the car sound a little bit better than it already does. Plus it gets tinted next week, so some things are already happening with the BRZ. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. Huge progress with the STI. Very excited about the BRZ. And our engine shows up Monday for the giveaway. One of these fun things right here. So engine build videos will be coming out next week. I'll show you guys how to measure the block, how to assemble an EJ, how to build it, what you want to look for, what you don't want to do, all of that kind of stuff. So excited to do those ones as well. Oh, and I'm sending the crank out to go get polished for the Evo, so that way we can put that engine together as well. But anyways, if you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, which you should be, one of these corners, no idea which one I'll put it in quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo!